Hello, how are you?
What's going on?
Everything's going good. How have your games been going?
I took a little break as per your suggestion
Hmm.
and jumped back in today. And two games I won. I don't know that they went well, but I won.
That's
And
cool.
then the first game I played did not go so well, uh, much to my irritation because the ran low on time and a misread kind of. I mean, I don't know that it's a game, but it certainly. I mean, it did end the game. I don't know if it would have saved the game if I had played the other way, but it yeah,
All right. And it looks like you're bouncing 13, 14 key right now?
that is consistent. Yes.
Yeah. Let's see. 1, 12, 20, 21. All right. So last week we played Shadow Go. Do you think you found that helpful? Did it help your games?
I found it helpful. I don't know that it was terribly relevant in the three games I've played since then, but no, it did give me a different way to look at it, which I tried to incorporate at least a little bit into the games I played today. Um, but yeah, I think that when really what helped in that Shadow Go was uh, showing me how where I was building onto that extension that you had me take, and not directly approaching stones. That was something that I really hadn't been doing, so I was trying to look for opportunities to do that,
Mhm.
which I kind of did in the. Let's see, which one is it? The first game against Tony Zhang there. Um, I was trying to do it. It didn't work very well, and the only reason I won the game is because he made a really bad mistake towards the end. But it it was something.
Mhm. Do you want to look at the first game with them or the second game with them?
Um, I'd say the first game with him, which
Okay.
we won it the second game with us, but the first game
Review
just didn't
started.
go as well as I had hoped with regards to the start, and I'm
Okay.
curious how I could have done it better.
All right, so we're just going to focus on our basics.
Yep.
Okay, open corners, sides, you approached, kick. Don't worry about it. You just jumped, okay. It's good for you. Knight's move, usually it's 1 point jump, right?
Yeah, I felt like it was kind of okay to do that. It was at a lot of liberties, and I felt like if he had tried to cut me, I could have done something.
That done something worries me. Did you read out the net?
Not specifically, no.
You always, always, always read the knight's move, cut.
Okay.
Always read your cutting points. It's super important. Don't play a knight's move
No.
or a hane without reading the cut.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, there is a net. However, there's another way to attack the knight's move, which is a peek. That's another way to attack that knight's move, and then he can jump
That
somewhere else.
that I did look at, and I thought that like that I did not look, but I thought if he does that, I connect, and then I can still get out.
That's fine. You were just playing defense right now, so it's fine. You played a big move, okay. He played so reduce, okay. Stage strong, okay. That one actually is not as big as this one
Okay.
because this Tari and then walk, and he's trapped.
Okay.
But if you play this one, you see that it's a little bit different. It's a little bit more annoying.
Yeah.
Maybe it's okay. Yeah, maybe it's okay, but it's like a lot more annoying. Um,
Okay.
so this is again always read the cuts. Which one works? Which one doesn't?
Okay.
This one. This one has more potential. Don't care about that. So you're playing a big move.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 Build yours. Defense. This is very normal. Like this is a open side move. You're at the largest framework now, right?
I kind of thought I was doing. I mean, yes, and I thought that my side was pretty big, and an enclosure there would help with the the bottom and the left side there.
Um, so the way the Clossi approach works is once you already have a stone on the side,
Mm-hmm.
then you want to build up the position. So you'd want to place
Okay.
something like this, or like this, and just keep making it bigger. And the
Okay.
reason you do it this way is because you're trying to invite your opponent in. Because when your
Okay.
opponent goes in, you're going to make forcing moves that are a positive exchange rate for you.
Okay.
So that's the way it works. So you see how he just gets this little bitty circle? And you
Mm-hmm.
get that, and that, and that.
Yeah.
That's the way it works. Is the point is to make a positive exchange rate. Now,
Okay.
there are times that you do want to convert it to territory when it just wins you the game. But until we can count that, until we can understand counting and stuff, and understand how big it needs to be to win,
Okay.
we don't really want to worry about that. We just want to make it
Okay.
bigger, invite them in, and attack them.
Okay.
That's how the largest framework works. So that's why we do it in the way that we do it. Because if you play this way, it says I'm ahead on territory, and this is a good solid way to win. But we can't make that judgment call if we don't know how to count territory. So
Okay.
it's better to reduce while building. Because yeah, we have the bigger one, but he also has a big one. Let's just reduce
Okay.
while build, and that's a little bit safer.
I think that's basically how it ended up kind of going poorly for me in the end.
Ooh, very nice cap. I love this here. This means you have a good understanding of the basics. I love this cap right here. Okay, Shinobi. Yeah. This is the mistake. This game is you're not inviting your opponent in, and I say mistake.
Okay.
It's not really a mistake. It's just different way of
So
playing.
I was looking this move. I remember very specifically. So I was looking at that one. Well, I didn't consider that one, but I was also looking at K11,
Okay,
capping that
yeah. This is
that big
this is
one.
fine. This is also good.
Okay.
The
Okay.
the moves I'm looking at are here for a double hane. Here, if you don't know the double hane, here and here. Like those are our basic moves.
Okay.
Any of those four moves would be acceptable at this level.
Okay.
And the reason is you have the big position, make it bigger, and force them to come in, or you seal the whole thing. Um, that's the approach. That's the
Okay.
step by step. This is not a bad move. I want to clarify: making a positive value move is really good. For a double digit Q, if
Yeah.
you can do this every single turn, you're gonna win every single time. The point is, it's not really the approach that the Clossi approach takes because we want to set it up in a certain position for our style. That's how we're developing the
Okay.
style. Now,
Okay.
this one might actually be slow on this board simply because that top right is kind of menacing.
Okay.
So I'm a little bit scared of that. And yeah, yours is slightly bigger, but like what happens when I reduce whites while building mine?
Yeah.
That becomes
Well,
dangerous.
you're about to find out if I recall.
Because this is actually quite nice. And then Hane, technically you can double Hane here. This is
Okay.
because the cutting points don't work. They're in your area, but yeah, more on that at single digit Q.
Okay.
But yeah, that's ooh no, you can't do that. You have to block. You have to
Okay.
block.
Yeah.
When he plays here, you just Nobi.
Okay.
That's all it is.
Okay.
Even if something worked, I would rather give up 2 stones than to give up that
Yeah.
than to let black in.
Okay. Yeah.
So this
I
is
know I screwed that up.
letting your opponent walk through your position.
Yeah.
So this is a cutting point mistake, which I think you've been struggling with cutting points.
Yes.
So yeah, did you do the cutting point go problems?
I did a fair number of them. Obviously, it's according to the Go problems. I'm pretty good at cutting points because when all you have to do is look at a very small area for cutting points,
Yeah.
you can find them pretty easily.
Well, it seems like
But
if you're doing the go problems, but it's not quite hitting in the game yet, that means you're not noticing the time to read the cuts. So
yeah.
every single, just make a rule for yourself. I'll actually write it down. Every single Hane and Knight's move and any other shape with a cutting point should be read. always read the cut. Read it before you play it. That's a very important distinction. Notice that you're about to play a move with the cutting point. Read that cutting point, then play it. And then a common pitfall is you read it, and then you think you see something. You're gonna have to work through that pitfall in order to improve, because that is a common pitfall that you overread it and overthink it, and then maybe the cut actually didn't do anything, or you could have sacrificed something, or you could have played a different order. But you're never going to learn how to deal with that until you start reading the cuts. So you have to take it step by step. Letting your opponent in here is a huge blunder. And at the very least, just give up the stones.
Okay.
Even here, just give it up. Stay connected, and then go back to the big moves.
Okay.
Yeah. If your opponent comes in here, it's that's not the. Oh, yeah, you're trying to stay connected. Uh-oh. And now Black's area. Now Black's area is the biggest, but his is almost sealed. Yeah. So defense. Do we need defense? Yes, we have a cutting point. So fix our cutting points. So when a disaster happens like this, you're like, oh crap, he just broke through.
Yeah.
Stop and evaluate. Where are my weaknesses? So I'm thinking, okay, fix my cutting points, block my area. That's what I'm going through in my head. When I start seeing things go wrong, that's when I have to stop and evaluate. Okay, recheck everything because something unexpected happened. So you have to watch your cutting points and everything else. Okay, so you do defend. You start making your base. That's good.
When I defended that, I mean, I actually considered just giving up those two stones, the 2K6 and 4, instead of going by. Obviously I decided not to do that, but I considered just going down to where what is it, H6, and trying to stop. I mean, I get that it's stupid to sacrifice two stones now when I could have sacrificed two stones far earlier and it'd been much less significant.
Well, there's actually a difference between the two stones earlier and the two stones now. The two stones earlier was just two stones. These two stones are your connection to the side.
Yeah.
Or your connection to the base.
Okay.
Connecting yourself to the base, that's your connection stones. Those are very important.
Okay.
Worth saving. So if you're going to give up two stones, make sure it has nothing to do with cutting points or a base.
Yeah.
Because those are stones worth saving.
Okay.
This one, technically you have a double peep. So you'd want to go with a knight's move.
Okay.
And yeah, here you want to keep your base. You can defend your Moyo after, and actually it's not even worth defending because Black's area is bigger than yours. You need to go in now or something. I'm actually not sure what's a good move for you because letting him in here is almost game over. But it was actually a really good game up to that point. This one's okay. That cutting point.
Okay.
That cutting point's a ladder. So it's okay.
Okay.
So you win from here?
I ironically managed to play out a cutting point sequence on the bottom right there and kill most of his bottom group.
Okay, I was like, Black seems ahead.
And I also kill his 3/3 invasion.
How do you kill the 3/3 when you have your whole position surrounded?
He screws up, as would be my guess there.
So this is how you normally deal with a 3/3. But if they invade at the end of the game when you have all of this thickness, there's a second way to attack, but only at the end of it. Only after you've sealed the position.
Okay.
It's from the second line.
Okay.
Because there's no escape route.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. He can run as much as he wants. Where's he going to go? there's no
Yeah.
escape route for black. So you can
Okay.
actually kill the 3/3 from the second line if you have all the thickness in the world.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's a KO, but he doesn't know the KO, so nice, good life and death. Okay, Yosei. Just connect.
Okay.
When you always connect. When do you know the timing to make a Tiger's Mouth?
When you need eye space.
When you need eyes. Otherwise,
Yeah.
connect. That's a KO
Okay.
threat because this is a KO threat.
Okay.
So this is a fraction of a point loss, potentially an entire point if you lose a KO because of it. Cut. Fix. You can just fix. Just fix
Okay.
your points. Ooh, nice. I just gave, I think, a lesson earlier over how these cutting points will lose you games.
Mm-hmm.
In Dame. So yeah, cutting points are very important, and boom. Ouch. Now he's even afraid. He's so afraid he has a Tiger's Mouth now. He needs to fix here.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's so funny. You scared the tiger out of him. This one is only half a point. This is like 2
Okay.
points.
Okay.
As long as the take does nothing to you, don't fix the ko until the very end. It's the very last thing you do. This is this ko is the smallest Yosei move you can do aside from Dame.
Okay.
So that's as long as the capture does nothing to you, it's like half a point or a quarter of a point even. It's
Okay.
less than a point. Okay, this is fine. It looks scared. I would rather you fix your cuts than not than this. Yeah, letting your opponent in is not good. Okay, yeah, more cutting points. More cutting points, more go problems with the cutting points, more practice with that.
Yep.
And then the lesson this game was build the largest framework and invite your opponent in.
Yeah.
Simply because it's a little bit easier. It's more along the Clossi approach basics. It's just
Mhm.
easier until you can count. Once you can count, then you can start making those decisions.
Okay.
But if you notice this game, if both players make a moyo and someone invades and that you don't know how to kill it, then that person wins. So
Yeah.
it's better to just let them in and make positive exchange rates, destroy theirs and build yours. It's
Yeah.
just easier to use.
All right. That makes sense.
All right. Do you want to review the other game against this guy, or do you want to review your loss?
Let's review the loss.
All right. Racing Snail. Why does he sound so familiar? Is Racing Snail
Review
like
started.
a viewer, or did a viewer play him?
I have no idea.
He's so like that. I know that username. Okay. So you're black. There's going to come a day where I just know every username in the double digit Q range on OGS.
Probably.
Okay, take the base, stay strong, watch cuts, and make your base. Okay. You could also just jump, but
Okay.
okay. Good. Your opponent's weakness is first, so you can cap right here.
Okay.
Because he's baseless, so surround the baseless group. And there is a cutting point here technically.
Okay.
So you can actually kill this corner. You just have to crawl for a million years to do it. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think it's one more, and then it's dead. And you can go play big move. Yeah, you have to crawl for a million years, so I don't know if it's good for you, but you can kill that. So basics.
To step off the second line. So.
Yes, but I also tell you to read the cuts, and I don't think you can read this variation. If you can read that, then you can make that judgment call. But if you can't,
never even occurred to me, to be perfectly honest.
but if you don't notice that, then you should be checking your opponent's cutting points.
I saw that, and I kind of thought it was there, but I thought it was not time to play it.
Okay.
You know, I was so yeah. That's it. I thought I wasn't an appropriate time to go after it.
Just to remember, it's your weaknesses, your opponent's weaknesses, and then the big moves. The big moves are smaller than your opponent's weaknesses, with the exception of if they ignore twice, then ignore and you'll come back later.
Okay.
Because if they get 3 Tanukis for a dead group, that's worth it. So that's kind of the exception. There are exceptions to it, but I would prefer you attack your opponent and then learn the exceptions as you go, rather than just playing the big moves. Simply because at this level, it's time to start learning how to punish your opponent's mistakes.
Okay.
I wouldn't play this Joseki. I would just play this one.
Okay.
You're on the biggest side, then stay on that side.
Okay.
Rather than giving your opponent influence towards the side that they want. Or you can get both. That's cool. Unnecessary Atari. You want to cap what? Okay, how do you kill a stone inside your area?
Surround it.
Surround and push to the edge.
Okay.
Surround and push to the edge. What he's trying to do is make a combination with this move.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't quite work. So the move he should have been trying is this one. And then crap here. or here. But that requires a whole new level of reading. But your basics, whether it works or doesn't, should be surround and push it to the edge. Surround, stay connected, push to the edge. That should be your basics. Letting your opponent out is how your position falls apart. Okay. Yeah, and here you also get cut, which is kind of like a double whammy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that falls apart pretty hard, and then other bad things happen.
Yeah, I think the response is going to be here. To try to connect. And then come back here. I think that's the best you can do, maybe, is try to connect. But this is too much for this level. Yeah. Okay, so you made a mistake. What do you do?
Try not to lose everything.
How do you do that?
Well, if I recall, I don't actually lose either of these two groups. I just lose the entire middle. So I don't know if it really.
Well,
my response is correct, but
I said it in the last game. If you can recall, when crazy crap happens, you stop and do what?
Think.
You stop and look for your weaknesses.
Yeah.
So cutting points and bases, and just start thinking defense. Crazy crap. Stop, defense. Cutting points, bases, weaknesses. So I would just fix the cut.
Okay.
Just start defending. The more you try to do weird to respond crazy with crazy, the more it's going to fall apart. Stay connected and watch your base. This is very Gote, and yeah, now you just lose those 2 stones.
Yep.
Okay, you have a weak group, so run away. This is all unnecessary. You are playing defense, not offense. Okay, you're not the attacker anymore. So run away. 1 point jump.
Okay.
This is fine, but still run away. Yep. Okay, now you have to run away, and you're even more cramped. I'll probably have to run this way. He also has weakness this way, so he can't kill you. Okay. But this one gives you escape routes. This one, he can just walk you into a stone. or play a double knights move. Or give you cutting points. Okay. Ice space is step 3. We are at step 2. Run away. Yeah, so you did defense, and that's good, but you did step 3 before step 2. Okay, do you need to live here? Are you in danger?
Not terribly, but
Okay.
no, because I guess I have that Atari that I could always take.
Is the A group okay?
Not as much as I would like.
Yeah, so I would like to do something up here. Okay, and now it feels much better. Okay, now you can say, okay, am I weak anywhere? No. Is my opponent weak anywhere? Yes. Cutting point. And then, is there a big move? Yes. Bottom side. But don't get caught up in the fight because that's exactly what your opponent wants. Yeah, so you made it a little bit more difficult for yourself in the bottom. And also, weak groups first. Jump is okay. 3-3. What part of the Clossi? What part of the Clossi approach is this move? No. 1 point jump. Defense first. Yeah, I feel like you got confused. I feel like this guy's one of those players that play really weird stuff. You got confused and then you forgot your basics. Whenever you face a guy that confuses you, it's very important to simplify your game to the basics.
Okay.
Because if you can't and you get confused, that is their entire plan. So you're going to basically, it's like if you don't get confused, you win. But if you get confused, you lose. That's what their entire play is based on, is messing with you. And the hint for that is this is not a normal move under any circumstance, right?
Okay.
Do you think this is normal for double digit Qs or single digit Qs or Dons or anything?
I have no idea what's normal for single digit Qs and Dons, so but you know, for double digit Qs, no.
Yeah, so playing inside your opponent's area, willy nilly like this is not normal. There are exceptions with reading, but like for basics, this is not normal. So there's only 2 things that could be that are following this up. One, he read something, and he's going to make it work cool. 2, he's trying to trick you.
Mm-hmm.
Both of which can be responded to with a calm, basic mind. But if you get tricked, which it looks like you did in the game, now your game is just not following the basics anymore. And now it's kind of falling apart. Yeah, and you know the corner can be killed, right?
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, it can be killed. Yeah, and you're just going to be playing defense for the rest of the game, unfortunately. Escape before I space.
Okay.
So this game, you have a bad habit of playing I space before escaping. Escaping is very, very big because if you don't, that profit for your opponent is very large. There's no reason not to Tiger's Mouth here.
Okay.
Or even here. Are we playing defense still? What are we doing?
I was just trying to, I don't know.
We're playing defense, then we're at step 3, or even step 4 actually. We're already surrounded, so just fight a point in life. If we're reducing, that's not the big move. Reducing is like topside. Here, try to activate these cuts, just jump. That's reducing. This is not the big framework, and it's not helping your eyes. So yeah, I think you just got this guy just confused you. Unfortunately, that's all it
Mm-hmm.
is. I think your basics are better than his, but he's a lot better than you at confusing moves. That's not the way. That's not. He confused himself. Don't fix. Good. He's threatening a ko. See, all he knows is Tsuji's. That's his entire
Yeah.
plan. Is to trick you.
Okay.
That's all he knows. Does he do it? Not yet. Okay. Yeah, he's setting up this cow.
Yeah, no, he does it eventually, but I like the real decision is this group right here. Obviously I did not play it well from the start, but then I had a chance to save it and I played the wrong move.
Well,
Um,
there's a couple problems with this one. One, you're
mhm.
invading next to a weak group. That almost never goes well.
Yeah,
Two,
which
you are invading after the center's been cut off. So there's no
mhm.
escape route.
Yeah,
So you can't invade that. It's too late to invade. That when the center's cut off, there's no escape route. It's too late to
yeah,
invade. So your only option is to reduce, or unless you can just immediately make life.
yeah.
But there's no escape route. So immediately you're at step two, or sorry, step three. So you need step three, ice base.
That would have been much better.
I think it can still die though, so it's not that much better.
Still probably would have been better. I mean,
um, yeah. Now you realize, and you just can't handle everything. It's too many problems.
mhm. And I almost managed it, which is the depressing part.
I no, nothing works.
I mean, it would have been a co, but if I descended, gone down to K, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, in this game, your basics actually started off good, but you got confused and then neglected weaknesses. So definitely still cutting points, and don't get confused when your opponent does stuff. And yeah, hopefully the shapes here seem a little bit make a little bit more sense. Yeah, this guy unfortunately was just a bad opponent for you.
Okay.
He's the other side of that coin. He's not basics. He's only attacking and reading. So
Mm-hmm.
all his entire mission is to confuse you and outread you.
Yeah.
If he does that, he wins. If he doesn't,
Yeah.
he loses because you're going to have more basics.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's a matter of keeping calm or not keeping calm. All
Yeah.
right, so let's look at the other one.
Yeah. Yeah, this one I actually have a question. It's not really relevant to the game at all. But there's one point where the AI is telling me that like this one cutting point is like amazing, and I have no idea where. And I tried to read it out.
At
Like I tried to play it out like 8 times.
the very end.
No. It's kind of towards the middle. Towards the end, I started to see like I actually managed to make it something that I never caught. But it says it is something in the beginning, and I don't understand why it is. Yeah, there it is. I mean, that's what it's saying right now. But it says it wanted me to do it much earlier.
All right, well, let's just look at it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're white. Open corners. Okay. Yep. Don't care. Big move. Okay. Poor guy. I don't think he knows basics. Okay, extension. So now you're actually at largest framework. So probably a shoulder hit.
Okay.
This is a little normal, but black can build while reducing. Or actually black can use that to invade. It's fine. It's fine. I think shoulder hit's more meta, though. 1 point jump next to the stone.
No. That was a misclick.
Okay. Outside stone, because the inside is just Yosei.
Okay.
Someone needs to tell this guy about armpit hits, man. Double hunting.
Okay.
Just surround it. He has a lot of liberty problems at cutting points. Trying to cut it is not the right idea because you should be surrounding.
Okay.
And also, the A stone is weak. So, defense as well. Yeah. The way your idea works is this way.
Okay.
Actually, yeah. No, this doesn't work either because there's a cutting point. But that's kind of the idea that I'm seeing for your move. But this is just a ladder. This is Yosei.
Okay.
You should, and also defense first.
Yeah.
Defense first. Yeah, you're getting a little bit confused in the fights. That's okay. I mean, you've been working on this. If you can knights move ahead, knights move ahead.
Okay.
Pushing from behind is good for your opponent. Yeah. You need to escape with your weak groups. You're skipping for some reason. You're not doing step 2 of defense. Run away and don't get surrounded. So you're letting yourself get surrounded too much. Don't skip step 2 of defense. Don't get surrounded. Run away. And don't skip step 2 of defense. Okay, okay, so reducing the top right?
Yep.
That's a cutting point.
Yeah, I saw that the instant that I played with.
Always check the cutting points. I'm gonna actually write that down too. No, I already did. I already made a whole paragraph about cutting points. He plays. Somebody's got to tell this guy about armpits. Probably the bottom side or something in the left quadrants. Okay. Oh, hey. That's cool. It's a nice little kill there. So now the bottom side. It's a shape. What are we doing exactly?
I didn't think that I could make anything work in the bottom side, so I thought I'd take more of the top.
Okay,
and
so
possibly reduce more.
You're saying
not.
the bottom side is blacks?
Yeah.
Then that would put us in Yosei, right?
Okay.
Actually, that one's not Sentai. Yes, it is. Cool. And then push the borders, push the borders, push the borders. It's kind of a cool way to break in.
Yeah.
Yeah, just start Yosei. Otherwise, you could try to invade. You can push the border. Just something like that.
Okay.
Okay, so you tried to live. Just block. You want to keep him on the edge.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to keep him trapped against the edge. And also, usually you reduce the eye space with nobis, because Hanes are Gote.
Okay.
Because the cutting point. The way you handle this one is not a nobi, it's actually a ladder.
Okay.
This fixes everything. That's actually
that's the AI showed me that afterwards.
yeah. There's actually no cutting point. There's actually no cutting point. There's not enough liberties to cut. Okay though, it's fine. Okay. You don't have to fix. It's already dead.
Yeah.
If black takes, you just connect.
Okay.
And it's dead. Ooh, good. Starting Yosei. Very nice. That one's Gote.
Okay.
He doesn't have to fix that cut. See how that works?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a way to break in right here. See how he has 2 cutting points?
Yeah.
You take the corner.
Okay.
That's how you activate the 2 cutting points. Monkey Jump's cool. Does that one work? I mean, you get a lot of forcing moves, so that's cool. Well, that works. Okay. Yeah, that one doesn't. Nice. Nice.
So right here is where it says N18. So if you go back one, so it says N18 is the cut right here. And I don't understand how that works. Because it goes as far as is it now? I forget where it was, but it's just based. It might be a little bit further down, but basically, yeah. Okay, here is where it says N18 is this huge cut that basically ends in me killing the 3 stones on the left, and I don't understand why that would happen.
Do you remember the variation I showed at the end?
Just recently?
At the end, at the start of the game, I showed you this cut. Do you understand it, or do you think you can read it now?
No, because the way I looked at it in the gut is I play N18, he plays M18 to put me in Atari. P18 follow up. He takes Q18 to put him into Atari again, and then what happens?
This is the move.
That's the move. Okay.
Because he requires an approach move, and so do you, because that's a self Atari.
Okay. All right. Yep. All right. That makes sense.
Now, I think you can actually do it here as well. So I think you can actually do it on that turn as well.
Okay.
It's kind of the same thing.
All right. That makes sense.
Yeah, that was the Tsuji. That's fine. It's not the end of the world. Ooh, nice. So close to making something work.
But yeah, then he just fixes in the middle there, right? Yeah.
Uh, I want to get something here, but I don't think I can.
I mean, I spent a long time staring at it, if that helps.
I think this works, right? It's the same thing.
Yeah. No, I couldn't see it at the top. I certainly couldn't see it at the bottom there.
No, that doesn't work. Uh, so he has to. He has to do that, and then that. Yeah, I think it works. I think it works because
We might not see any of that crap.
yeah, because I think he can't block because of the Atari, and I think every single one of my moves was forcing. So he can't. He has to play here. Yeah, then he can do that. And now there's nothing. But I don't think he'd see that. Or he might. He might have. He might smell the Aji. But yeah, that's cool. Yep. Cutting points, man. They're really cool.
Yeah, no, I just didn't see the first line move to make that work.
I mean, that's fine. As long as you're trying, you'll get those eventually.
I promise you, I spent probably more time than I should have just staring at those, trying to figure out something that would work, and then did not see.
Yeah, it takes a lot of Go problems to be able to do that. I don't think the bottom side was a 13Q. The top side, I think maybe you could have solved if you could find R19. But if you don't see R19, nothing else works.
Yeah.
So that's just more Go problems, right? I mean, just recognizing R19 is just Go problems. And it takes a while. It takes like thousands of problems. It's not gonna be it's not gonna be easy. It's not obvious. But as long as you're trying to read them out, you'll get it eventually. It's just I think you're in the middle game. You're not checking the cuts before you play cutting point moves.
Okay.
So yeah, watch your cuts before you play. Always read the cuts, and don't skip step 2 of defense and build. What the crap? Build up the framework instead of ceiling for the Clossi approach. Invite your opponent into your framework when yours is bigger to get an attack for a positive exchange rate. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
Yeah, not bad basics, just more fine tuning. Do you have any questions about anything?
Anyway, I mean, the one question I kind of had, but I think it was when I just gave up those 2 stones for that I thought that was a reasonable move to sacrifice. That was better to give those up than to keep fighting. I didn't see a whole lot else that I could do with the was that a reasonable decision or?
Where's the co exactly?
It was the one where fighting the life and death on the right there. And he took the 2 stones in the middle. I gave those up to just take.
No, that was a good decision. That's dead group is much bigger than those 2 stones.
Okay,
that's fine. You just wasted too many moves after it was already dead.
Okay.
But yeah, giving those 2 suns up for that co is definitely worth it
Okay.
because they're not a group. They're not preventing your base. They're not cutting anything off, and it's not that large of an area. So yeah,
Okay.
no, that was a good decision.
Okay. Cool.
All right, let me send you these notes. And yeah, do you have any other questions?
I don't think so.
Awesome. So yeah, hopefully everything will keep going well. I think your games were actually not that bad.
Okay.
Just more practice. Same old, same old.
Yeah. Get to it.
We'll get through it. Just yeah, keep practicing and keep playing. How many games are you playing a week?
Like I said, after you kind of told me and I felt it was a good idea, I took this last week just kind of off to get myself a little
Yeah,
bit more refreshed. But I mean, I'd like to try to get at least 2 to 3 games a day if I have the time for it. Like I'd
yeah,
like to be
that's pretty
to be
good.
doing that.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I think that's great. Yeah, just keep that up. You're doing good.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you had a good week. Yeah. So, yeah, if everything's good, if there's no more questions, then I will see you next week.
Next week. Yep. All right. Have a good
All right,
one.
have a good one.